You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Library Shelfie Day. I don't even know what a library shelfie is. I know there's some people are going to libraries, but I don't know what a library shelfie is. I did mention to my wife today that today's National Spouses Day, so I think that means I better not say what I think it means. It might get me in trouble, so I think we'll stay away from that one. Celebrates the bond between two people and sets aside time for couples to show each other gratitude. Isn't that like any day that ends in Y? I just throw that out there. But maybe, something after 34 years, maybe that's why we've been 34 years. National Green Juice Day. Not a chance in the world. Unless it's, I don't even know if they talk about this anymore, but I don't think this is what they had in mind. But back in my college days and shortly thereafter, there was something called green chartreuse. I don't know if green chartreuse is even out there anymore, but green chartreuse was very, very high alcohol content. You could actually light a match to it. I don't know why we were drinking it, but yes, we did drink it. But moving right along, I think we'll just stick with one of my favorites because I am a big fan of peanut brittle. I get it from C's Candy. C's makes great peanut brittle. Have you ever had their peanut brittle? It is good stuff. So today's National Peanut Brittle Day, and we are looking forward to National Chocolate Cake Day tomorrow. I'm just throw that out there. We might even start celebrating that one a little bit early. Hey, let's take and see what the markets are doing today. Whoa! The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 314 points. The S&P is up 65. The Nasdaq's up 305. Oil is up $2.04 a barrel. I don't know if I want to look at this again, but I will tell you, okay, from our team, I think Lori is still winning. She is our tremendous underwriter out there in Louisiana. She's paying $3.07 a gallon, 307.5 a gallon. I think she's still got the win. Brittany's paying $3.30 a gallon. Moving down, Jody's at $3.56 a gallon, but I don't know if she's out there even checking that out. Josh, you're at $3.80 a gallon. You haven't been able to get below that $3.80 mark, but you're still right there at $3.80 a gallon. And right here in the formerly Golden State, it looks like we dropped a penny. $4.63.8 a gallon.
Ow!
463.8. 463.8. I paid $4.50 yesterday at Costco. So think about national average $3.34.2. Just throw that out there for you. Let's see what else is going on in the world of the markets. So oil is up 207 a barrel. We're still on war watch, so we'll see what happens with that one. I did note that this morning I saw a report that said the president has rescinded his mask mandate. Wow, isn't that a surprise, being that
surprise.
being that the Supreme Court said it's not legal. But, it's still legal to fire the healthcare workers when we're in the middle of a shortage of healthcare workers. That makes a lot of sense. Now, these people that have worked all this time and they have put in all these hours helping people, and now because they make a decision that they don't want to get vaccinated, they're going to fire them so they can't help the people that need help. Am I missing something here? Where's the logic in this? Now, I do have a dear friend who said that she's not going to get vaccinated. Worked in the emergency rooms 22 years. Then went to work in a capacity as a hospice care nurse. Now, I don't know if you've ever dealt with hospice. Not fun, but a hospice care nurse, they're basically the last nurse you're going to see on this planet, right? So served in that capacity, never got vaccinated, got COVID, okay, and she took some of the medicines that are legal around the world, let's just put it that way, and got better very, very quickly. And back out there working. Now she's got, what do they call it? Natural antibodies, right? So think about that concept, but, they say that she can't work in the hospitals anymore in some of the healthcare areas because she's not vaccinated. Unbelievable. If you can help us with the logic in that, I'd love to understand the logic in that one. I don't get it. Alex is with us. It's been a while. I think Alex must have been on a Ron Siegel radio sabbatical. Josh, we don't get to do that. No sabbaticals for you and me. But glad to have you back with us, Alex. We're continuing our conversation here. So we are chatting a little bit about the vaccines. I won't say too much about them because if I say too much about the vaccines, I may end up in Facebook jail once again. I saw an interesting meme the other day, and it was fast. It just kind of hit me. There's a lot of things that, I am warped a little bit, some people say. So the meme basically says, why is it that I get put into Facebook jail for 30 days for sharing something that I found on Facebook? Does that make sense? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, but it was an interesting thought to me. Like I say, we got a lot to chat about today. That we're gonna really get into some stuff that I still hear. Josh and I talk about this all the time. Maybe I talk and Josh listens. I mean, we don't give him a microphone there, but I still hear about people that are paying their credit card bills the wrong way. It amazes me. I mean, we've been doing this show for 11 years now, and we get people that are paying their credit card bills, and they say, well, Ron, I pay it off. That's cool, but it doesn't help your FICO score because you're paying it wrong. Not that you're using a credit card or not that you're using a check or a bill pay, but it's the time of when you pay it. So I am going to share with you that whole concept today. We're also going to talk a little bit about climate change. And I don't usually talk about climate change on Ron Siegel Radio, but are you a homeowner thinking about climate change? We're going to talk about that. A breakdown of CFPB's latest analysis on credit disputes. No other industry in the world could get away with having as many claims or reportings to the authorities than credit bureaus. But we're going to talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Nikki is standing by to take your calls. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 374 points. The S&P 500 is up 62.88. The NASDAQ up 331 points. The 10-year Treasury is flat. Mortgage-backed securities are up 6 basis points. And as you know, all of that information is available on that super secret website, google.com. The thing that you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio for, the reason that you come here and check us out each morning, I hope, is to find out why these things are happening. Well, here's the issue. There's not a whole lot of there's good news out there, but until about 11 o'clock California time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, it's all just kind of hearsay. What happens at 11 o'clock California time? Well, that's when the Federal Reserve is going to make their statement. They conclude their 2-day meetings, and they're going to tell us what's going on in their opinion, because they've been known to tell us that there is no inflation. Although when we go to the gas station, when we go and buy food, when we go and buy anything, we see how prices are going. So the Fed's trying to thread the needle between inflation and asset prices. So far, the stock market has reacted negatively to the Fed removing accommodation aggressively. So will the Fed be able to hike rates as much as they would like in 2022? If the stock market continues to tumble after the Fed hikes rates, likely in March, they may continue to tighten, but do so by reducing their balance sheet instead of further rate hikes. Contrary to conventional wisdom, when the Fed hikes rates, it's actually a good thing for mortgage rates because the Fed curbs inflation. But if the Fed were allowed their balance sheet to run off, it'd be a bad thing for rates, as the Fed would be reinvesting or buying less mortgage bonds and allow those assets to fall off their balance sheet. This would cause more supply on the market that has to be absorbed, which can cause interest rates to move higher. So we're going to be listening to what the Fed has to say when they announce their report. Housing news. Yes, we did have some news this morning. New home sales measures signed contracts on new homes were up 12% in December at an 811,000 unit annualized pace, which was much stronger than expectations of a 1.7% gain. There was a negative revision to the strong November reading, and when factoring that in, sales were up a solid 9% still. Year-over-year sales are down 14%. The median home price came in at $377,700, which is a decline of almost 10% from the previous post. The median home price is up 3.4% year over year and points to an increase in lower priced homes sold. There was a big increase in homes sold between $200,000 and $300,000. That is a great sign. Why? Now remember, these are national numbers, but it's still telling us what's going on the lower end of the market. Why is that so good? Well, it tells us that the first-time home buyers getting back into the fold. We're getting them back in, and they're able to actually find some properties to buy. We like to see that. So just a thought for you, that if we get those what happens when a first-time home buyer comes into the market? Well, they're generally buying the lower priced properties because that's what they can afford. But who's selling it to them? Well, it's their moms and dads, not their specific, but it's moms and dads or growing families. So you might have a single individual buy their first home. You might have newlyweds buying their first home. Well, what do they do when they outgrow it? They buy another one. So they either keep and rent or sell their first one to buy something a little bit bigger. They're pushing somebody out of that next bigger home. Then they go on to the next one and they push somebody out of that one as well. And it continues until you get back to the senior who basically says, you know something? All 22 of my kids are now moved out of the house and I don't need this big house anymore. So I'm going to right size. And they go back and buy something that's a little bit smaller. Just a thought for you. So that's one pushing the other all the way through the system. So that is a good thing. Now, here's the issue that a lot of people are finding is why would mom and dad want to sell a house to buy a bigger one when they can't find anything to buy? Well, I'm just going to throw this out there for you. If you're thinking about buying a new home, selling your existing property, what I'm going to suggest is find a great real estate professional to help you find a new home. Get pre-underwritten, pre-approved from Nikki at Geneva Financial, right? Get that taken care of, and then go and find a new home with a real estate professional. Anywhere in the sound of my voice, we know great real estate professionals that we can refer you to. So you're going to go and find that new home. Now, it's going to take you some time. You're going to need to be patient. But what I'm going to suggest to you at that point is to, once you've developed a relationship with the agent that we recommend to you, and I have no bias to agents at all. It doesn't matter to me whether you use somebody we tell you just because they're going to give you good service and they're going to take care of you, look after your interest, or if you choose to go and find somebody else that you just take your chances with, or that maybe you know them and you've got a good relationship. But here's the issue. That's going to most likely be the best person to help you liquidate or sell your departing property. Now, I'm going to submit, once you've got your property set up, you've got your property identified and in contract, it's not going to take you a long time to sell your property if you've got a great real estate professional. And I see that one of them just popped on here right now. Jim Norton, glad to see you with us. Maybe if you have a great real estate professional and they understand marketing, your property is going to sell quickly, maximize the price, but more importantly, because you can put your property online. That's easy. I mean, if you call our team, RJ at ronsiegelradio.com, we can give you a single property website to get your property online. But that's not going to help you get from the point of negotiating a contract to closing the contract. That's when you want a professional. And just before I came on air, I was chatting with somebody today about one of the great partners that we have that comes on Ron Siegel Radio, and they do an auction system. Well, the auction system is great. I like that system, but I still want you to have somebody representing you. That would not be the listing agent, right? Because the listing agent has a responsibility to the seller. I want you to have somebody who's got your best interest at heart. Now, the listing agent might have your best interest at heart, but if there is a dispute, which way do you think the listing agent is going to go? Are they going to take the side of the buyer, or are they going to take the side of the seller? I don't know. Can they? I've said this many times because, doing a conservative radio program in an ultra liberal state, I tell people all the time, you know something? You're not going to find me sitting on the fence very often. If I don't have an opinion, I won't give an opinion, but I just don't sit on the fence. It hurts. And if you've got the listing agent also representing you as the buyer, they pretty much have to sit on the fence, because if it's a conflicted issue, maybe a request for repairs, right? And you're saying, I want $5,000 for repairs. Here's a copy of the home inspection. And the seller is saying, pound sand, I've got 20 other people that want this property. Well, now what's the agent going to do? They're stuck in the middle. How hard can they fight for which side? Right? So make sure you have your own agent. And again, I don't have a horse in the race. So whether you go with if you use the listing agent as your agent as well, again, I don't have a horse in the race, but I'm going to tell you, not in your best interest. Just the way it is. And yes, I do talk to real estate professionals all the time. I'm just going to throw that out there. Hey, I should have put this in there. We should have thrown this in the early on. If you have questions or comments, be sure to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give the authority if you're watching us on Facebook. If it's on YouTube, I don't think you need that. But go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give the authority to share your information. Then you can go and make comments. If you've got questions or comments about anything we speak about on Ron Siegel Radio, just share them in the chat. We will, in many instances, try to answer your question or take a look at your question. We'll always take a look at it, but we'll try and address that if we possibly can. So just put comments just like Alex did earlier, just like Jim did after that. You can be one of those that makes those comments as well. I'm assuming Jim I know is a realtor, so what the heck. Cool information shared. Okay, yeah, something that's good. Love that. Share this all the time. We always appreciate that. I don't know who Facebook user is, but you can always share our information as well. I appreciate that. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe. Isn't it thumbs up, Josh? Thumbs up and subscribe. That'll help us out a lot. It'll help out with the algorithm. Let more people know that we're here, that we're able to share information. We don't get paid for doing this. We do it because we want to give you great information. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you about something that is near and dear. I'm going to talk to you when we come back. We're going to talk, number one, are you a homeowner thinking about climate change? Then I'm going to get into the right way, the correct way to pay your credit card bills to maximize your FICO score. Maximize your FICO score. Most people do it the wrong way, but I'm going to share with you how to do it the right way to maximize your FICO score. And we're going to give you a breakdown of the CFPB's latest analysis on credit report disputes. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Or you can visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Find out exactly what the county recorder knows about your property, what the market believes about your property. It is a monthly newsletter that comes out just about your property to you from your friends at Ron Siegel Radio. Are you a homeowner thinking about climate change? Americans are more aware than ever of the effects climate change and natural disasters can have on their homes. According to a report from Realtor.com, quote, more than 3 in 4 recent buyers, 78%, took natural disasters into account when choosing the locations of their homes, unquote. The study also found that many existing homeowners, 34%, have already considered selling their houses and moving to a new location because of the changing climate. If you're like those homeowners and are weighing your options about what to do next, here's some information to keep in mind as you begin the process of selling your existing house and searching for your new home. Do your research and work with a real estate advisor to find a home that meets your needs. As a homeowner, it's impossible to control what types of weather events your home is exposed to. As McClare Bolton Smith, senior leader of research and content strategy for CoreLogic, says, quote, "You can't necessarily remove the location from around you, but there are things you can do to mitigate damage that can happen," unquote. The first step is understanding how to navigate your home sale and purchase with these specific issues in mind. While that can seem like a difficult undertaking at first, with the appropriate resources and experts on your side, you can simplify the process. The Mortgage Reports provides some tips for purchasing your next house, including but not limited to vetting the location before you buy, researching climate action plans and learning if the city or state has one, working with professionals for additional assessments on the home's ability to withstand natural disasters. Ultimately, your best resource throughout the process is a trusted real estate professional. An agent will help you navigate the sale and required disclosures for your existing home, be your expert advisor on local guidelines and information, and keep your goals and concerns top of mind. Even if your advisor does not have the answers to all your questions about how your next home will stand up to natural disasters, they can help connect you with experts and resources who will. The bottom line, if you're becoming more mindful about the effects of climate change and you're ready to make a move, you're not alone. Let's chat. I'll connect you with a trusted advisor on your side to help you navigate the sale of your current house and find the perfect spot for your next one. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does, or you can visit rsrhomedigest.com. So let's chat about this. Paying your credit card the correct way to maximize your FICO score. Now remember, there's lots of ways to pay your credit card bills. If you're looking just to get rid of debt, well, the idea you might want to go with the idea of paying off the highest interest rate first. If you want to feel good, then that's called the one's called the snowball, is the feely good, not feely, just feel good. And what you do there is you pay off the smallest one, then whatever you were paying on that one, you add it to the next smallest one, and you keep paying them off until you get to the biggest one. It's called snowball. But if you're looking for your FICO score, to maximize your FICO score, you're thinking about buying a capital purchase, either a car or a home, something big like that. Well, then what you want to really be doing is you want to pay the credit card strategically. And again, most people do not pay their credit card strategically. So how do you do that in a strategic way? So you have to understand a few different terms. First off, what is your credit limit? So we're going to talk about your credit limit. What is your balance? What is your statement due date? What is your payment due date? Got to know all of those things in order to maximize. So here's the issue. The 30% of your FICO score is driven by your credit utilization. I'm going to explain that in a minute. 35% of your FICO score, roughly, is determined by your pay history. Both items are going to be addressed right now. So what we're going to talk about right now here, here's what we want to find out. Statement due date, that's when your statement closes. Let's just say that you've got a statement due date of the first of the month. That means your payment due date is probably sometime around the 25th of the month. All right, so you have to make your payment by the 25th. They're going to send you a new bill on the 1st, and your cycle goes on. Now, let's just say, for round numbers, I'm a simple guy, that you have a $1,000 credit limit. And as of right now, you've got a $900 balance. Well, that means you've got a 90% utilization. Not good. The only thing worse than a 90% utilization is if you go over 100%. But it's going to detract from your FICO score. Now, you say, Ron, well, I get my statement on the 1st and I send them a payment. I pay it off right away. Well, guess what? The date that the statement comes out, the statement closing date, is actually the date when they report in most instances. So the first of the month, if you've got $900 due and you've got that $1,000, they're going to report to the bureaus that you've got a 90% utilization. And say you get the bill on that same day because you've got electronic billing and it comes to you in your email. And you say, okay, well, I pay it on the 5th. Wonderful. So you've paid off that $900 bill, but they're not reporting that. All they're going to report is that you paid on time when the bill comes out next month. But you're still at 90%. Now, throughout the month, you're charging. And the next month comes out and you've got an $800 balance. Well, now you're at 80% utilization. Still not good, right? So the breaks are, from what they tell us, no one knows exact, but basically the best score that you're going to get is if you're under 10%, don't go to zero. If you leave 10 or 15 cents on there, that's fine. It just works better for the algorithms. But 10% below is going to help your FICO score. Next is 30%. 50% is about neutral. 70% starts detracting. 90% detracts even more. And if you're over 100%, that really hurts. How do you get over 100%? Well, maybe you're at 99%. You don't pay off your bill on all the time. And then you have an interest charge, and that takes it over 100%. They report it that you're at $1,010, you're over, and it's really going to take your score down. I've seen as much as 80 to 100 points. Don't know exactly, but I've seen as much as 80 to 100 points. Now, so how do you do it the right way? Okay, the best way to do this, the right way to do this to maximize your FICO score is, okay, you've got a statement closing date of the first of the month. What I want you to do is about the 25th or the 26th, go online and find out what your balance is. So you see, okay, I've got a $750 balance right now. Pay it, or pay as much as you can, right? So if you pay that off and it goes into the statement closing date with $1, so you've got $1 out of $1,000 limit. Well, now you're under that 10% I spoke about just a minute ago. All that's dealt with is you've only made the change of about, a week or two of making the payment. So it doesn't have a whole lot of effect on your individual cash flow, but it has a major effect on your FICO score. Now, the other thing that I want you to do, and be ready for this one, because this is what's going to help on that 35%, is make sure you go into your bank and always have a minimum payment, maybe $50. Have that set to arrive at your bank about 2 or 3 days before the payment due date. So remember before I said your payment due date might be the 25th of the month? So set a $50 payment to go out on the 23rd. That's going to help you right there, because that's going to make sure that, or arrive on the 23rd. That's going to help you because you're never going to be late. It's set on auto pay. So what you're going to do is make 2 payments every month. One, the vast majority, whatever the largest payment you can afford, you're going to do that right before the statement closing date. And then you're going to have that auto pay set up for right before the payment due date. Do this for 2 or 3 or 4 months with all your credit cards. And I think you're going to be surprised at how much your FICO score will go up, even if you've got a great FICO score. Just a thought for you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to chat about a breakdown of the CFPB's latest analysis on credit disputes. And we've got some other good stuff for you as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com, MySoCalLender.com. A breakdown of the CFPB's latest analysis on credit report disputes. Credit reports play a key role in our financial health, impacting our eligibility for credit cards and loans and the cost we pay to finance purchases like a house or car. Credit reports can include mistakes. For example, accounts listed more than once or invalid collection accounts. Fortunately, federal law gives us the right to dispute credit report errors when we spot them. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's recently released report on credit report disputes reveals patterns in who files more disputes and the type of accounts most frequently disputed. The Bureau's report is based on an analysis of 5 million credit reports, or 5 million credit records, focusing on auto loans, student loans, and credit cards opened between 2012 and 2019. Insights of disputers. The CFPB's report reveals younger adults were a higher percentage of disputers for most type of accounts. For example, 67% of auto loan disputes were made by adults under age 44. Student loan disputes were an exception, with adults in the 30 to 44 age group making up a higher percentage of disputes. These adults have been in repayment status for longer and be more likely to have errors after refinancing or consolidating their loans. Interesting credit score dynamics emerged for people with disputes versus those who didn't. In particular, people with low credit scores represented a higher percentage of disputes across all account types, especially with auto loans, 58%, and student loans, 73%. The CFPB suggests this could be related to people with lower credit scores checking their credit more often, possibly after receiving an adverse action notice from a denied credit card application. The adverse action notice explains the reasons a consumer was turned down and provides free access to their credit report. Disputes based on account type and status, people tended to dispute some types of accounts more than others. Credit cards had the highest percentage of disputes, followed by student loans, auto loans, and retail cards. Somewhat surprisingly, people with higher average credit scores made up a greater number of credit card disputes. A consumer's payment status also seemed to play a role in credit report disputes, with a higher percentage of people disputing auto loans that were delinquent before placing a dispute. Maintaining a clean credit report now is a great time to take advantage of the weekly free credit reports until April 2022 through annualcreditreport.com. Usually you can get a report every 12 months, but here's the issue right now. I'm going to suggest to you, do what I do. Register with myfico.com, myfico.com. Yes, it is a paid subscription, not prescription. It's a paid subscription. I watch my family's credit reports all the time. Why? Well, number one, I look at it every day. I get notices all the time that something's going on my credit report. So I'm looking at it all the time. Why do I want to look at it all the time? When I tell you that I've seen as much as 80 to 100 point drops, number one, I have a team of people that we do lending with, right? So we see what's going on credit reports. I work with Jeff Sipes over at Blue Water Credit, and they do some great jobs for the listeners of Ron Siegel Radio on getting their credit scores enhanced. So that's another big one. And we're constantly looking for ways to what's going on, because Fair Isaac Corporation does not release their algorithm. They don't tell anybody specifically what's going on with the credit reports or what the percentages are, what causes what, and what happens with how many points. So when you look at enough credit reports, I look at my own credit report, I can actually see, okay, well, this is what I did, and this is the cause, and this is the effect. And it just helps us out right there a lot. So that's why we do it that way. So I'm going to recommend myfico.com. Watch it. They give you one of their plans will give you your report quarterly, but you can put the app on your phone and see what's going on your credit report. And you may find out that there's some surprises on there. Now, one of the things that our friends at Geneva Financial are working on, it's going to be out probably the beginning of the second quarter, is something called Geneva Guard. Geneva Guard. And it's an identity theft program that I think you might like. So we're going to be Geneva's coming out with that again, the beginning of the second quarter. And I think you're going to like that. There's a lot of tools on it. We haven't got all the details on it yet, but we're excited to be able to bring that to you as a listener of Ron Siegel Radio. That's the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. Hey, and as I mentioned before, Jeff Sipes and the team over at Blue Water Credit, they do a great job for the listeners of Ron Siegel Radio. If you decide that you're going to get a loan with the team, or you just call Blue Water and tell them that you're a listener to Ron Siegel Radio, they've got some very special offers for you as well. Now, yes, they, like most of the family of Ron Siegel Radio, they also are going to give you a free consultation. So that's one of the biggies also is you get them, they'll get a copy of your credit report. You may have to go to myfico.com and get that report. And then they'll review it with you. They go do a Zoom call and go right down the report and say, well, if you do this, you might see that. If you do this, you might see that. Or if you lower your total household debt by X amount, you might be better off. Just throw that out there for you. I was looking at a report, and we shared this on our social channels last week. I think it was on Friday that we shared this report. Americans choosing real estate as the best investment. I don't know if you saw this one. Again, it was a report on Friday that came out. We get a lot of great data from our friends over at Keeping Current Matters, Steve Harney and his team. Americans choose real estate as the best investment. According to a Gallup poll, real estate has been rated the best long-term investment for 8 years in a row. That's a pretty bold statement. So there 41% say real estate, 26% stocks and mutual funds, 18% says gold, 9% says savings accounts, CDs, 3% says bonds. Now, I don't know because I don't see it on here. Did anybody say crypto? I don't think that that's on there. But you know what would be fun to look at? And I'm going to look at it right now just for the fun of it, because we do see crypto doing all kinds of interesting things. So just for fun, do you know we're in football season, right? The Rams playing the 49ers. I guess there's no other states that had a team that could match this year. So on the NFC side, Rams playing the 49ers. I read an article the other day. Odell Beckham Jr. decided that he wanted to take his base salary, $750,000, I think it was, in cryptocurrency. So I heard that he was going to, if they didn't pay him that way, he was going to convert it. Now, if you go back right around, I can't see the exact date, but probably December, Bitcoin was at about 63,000. If we look today, Bitcoin is at 38,000. So that's a little painful. Ow! So if you took his $750,000 salary, put it into Bitcoin, and in the 60s, That would probably not have been too exciting to then see his salary, half of his investment gone. I've shared with you over time. Now, I'm a little older, right? So my comment is I don't understand all this Bitcoin stuff. I don't understand these NFTs, right? People spend, $100,000 for some picture on their phone. I have 38,000 pictures on my phone. No one's paying me anything for those. There's some people that might pay me not to show them, but that's a different story, right? But the issue here becomes, do you understand it really well? Do you think Mr. Beckham understood it, that he was going to lose half his money? I just throw that out there to you. I bet he's not too excited about that. Where is it going in the future? I don't know. I don't play in that sandbox, so I'm not going to even give you any kind of idea there. But what I am saying is, or what I want to say to you, is just understand what you're doing in markets, right? Real estate, you can touch it any 10-year period. It's going to go up historically. What's it going to do going forward? I don't know. But if you look at even the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and we look at the 1-year chart for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, hasn't been pretty the last few months, or the last month, right? I mean, we were at 36,000, almost 37,000. Right now we're at 34,6. Bottom line is have a game plan. Understand what you're trying to accomplish. What are your short and long-term goals? When we do consultations at our team, it's all about understanding where do you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if you're young enough. Understand those things. Have that conversation. Headset jockeys, they're just going to put you into something. It could be, Robinhood, that you just buy and sell whatever you want. You don't get any advice. Or you can go on Reddit and just read what everybody else is doing. Do they know what they're doing? How do you know? Find trusted advisors. That's why I always talk to you about the household board of directors, the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. It's not because I'm looking to help people make money, but does it matter? If they make money and can make you even more, aren't you better off? Think about that concept as you set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.